Welcome, everybody. Welcome and thank you for joining us today. This is the 42nd edition of the Platform Academy. Today, I am being joined by my dear colleagues, Kiernan and Joe, from the Creator Workflows business unit. And we will talk about everything that is new for Creator Workflows and the Vancouver release today. I am very, very glad that you both could join me. Thanks to everybody who joined us for this webinar. And I think I'll have a quick round of introductions. And so please, Kiernan, you go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me, Lisa. I am glad that you are hosting this time and I don't have to. Previously, I have done this a couple times. It's always great to be here. Hi, I'm Kiernan McMorrow. I am a principal outbound product manager with Creator Workflows, focused on App Engine. Yeah, I've been here at ServiceNow for about 2 years. And prior to that, I was in the partner space. So yeah, really excited to talk to everybody about some of the upcoming changes in Vancouver for App Engine.
Awesome. And Joe.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Joe Wilmoth. I'm a senior principal outbound product manager for Automation Engine, mostly working with Integration Hub, Stream Connect, and our newest capability, Spoke Generator. This Friday actually marks my anniversary with ServiceNow at 9 years. And before that, I worked for the same partner as Kiernan. So been around for, I guess, about a decade, which is crazy to say. And today we're going to learn a little bit about some of the new capabilities and features in Vancouver for Automation Engine.
That's so awesome. And my name is Lisa Hohenstein. I'm a product manager. I work in the Now Platform business unit at ServiceNow. I've been here for over 4.5 years now. I joined from a customer and I worked as a solution consultant before and was an admin developer, almost all of the roles that you could have on ServiceNow. And I'm very excited every time we get a new release and new features and new capabilities for the platform and our different workflows. So release time is always an amazing time for me as well. And before we head into things, I'll go through a couple of slides for housekeeping. This slide is mostly obsolete today because Vancouver has gone GA that is generally available already. So all of you can upgrade your dev, test, whatever instances to Vancouver patch 1 as we speak. Always a good reminder, remember to also upgrade your store apps. We will probably not go into too many forward-looking statements, but if we do, don't make any purchasing decisions based on what we tell you today. And then, as always, this is part of a larger set of webinar series. We have different kind of platform academies. And then before we head into the actual content and the agenda, I will start a small poll because I want to know what release your production instance is currently on, and then also how often do you upgrade your instances. So let us know. We will be starting with Joe. Leading us through the improvements for Automation Engine that covers the products of Integration Hub, RPA, that is Robotic Process Automation, and Document Intelligence. And then Kiernan will show us some highlights for App Engine and App Engine Studio, Table Builder, Workspace Builder, all the goodness in the creator space. And before I give this over, and we'll take a quick look at the results. It's awesome to see that many people are already upgrading every release, which is amazing because then you get the new features as fast as possible. And then there are very, very few, just one person who upgrades less frequently. And I think that's really a good place to be. And Utah, more than 2/3 are on the STU. Yes, Utah is the most recent one. So that's awesome. 2/3 of you are on the most recent release prior to this one, which is amazing. Okay, so with that, I will hand it over to Joe.
So for those of you who don't know about Automation Engine is the combination of Integration Hub, RPA Hub, Stream Connect, Document Intelligence, and Automation Center, which kind of brings all of them together. Today, we're going to quickly learn about some of the new capabilities and features available with the Vancouver release in Automation Engine. And as Lisa mentioned earlier, first up, we'll hit Integration Hub. So first up for Integration Hub is something that I am excited about. Customers are always looking for effective and efficient ways to create new spokes to connect to the Now platform or connect the Now platform to external systems. A lot of our customers today rely on creating scripted API approaches or scripted integrations using a lot of our legacy platform features and capabilities to quickly create new integrations without using Integration Hub capabilities like our Action Designer. So we wanted to take out a lot of those manual steps and reduce risk from approaching integrations with scripted solutions. Spoke Generator enables customers to generate spokes with advanced features without generating any code, greatly reducing the implementation time and offering spokes at a lower cost. Spoke Generator offers sort of a guided experience for building spokes, enabling integration developers to utilize OpenAPI 2.0 and 3.0 specs to quickly build integrations with external applications and systems that support the OpenAPI spec. Next up, one thing that we've found recently is that we'd had some limitations with our current payload builder. So we found that developers are looking to create JSON payloads fast and with a little bit more complexity. And as I said, the current payload builder step has some limitations. It can only do flat JSON objects and key value pairs with simple string types. So JSON Builder enables faster time to value with more expressive capabilities for creating and generating JSON payloads with support for JSON objects, JSON arrays, Booleans, numbers, and nulls, as well as more ways to handle those empty values. For those of you that don't know about Integration Hub Import, it simplifies the process of importing data from external sources and transforming it into ServiceNow tables. You can configure, run, and schedule your data imports all through a single interface. In Vancouver, developers are now able to add multiple target tables to map in the map to target page. So before you could only map and import into one target table per integration, and now you can hit multiple target tables, which is something that I was really excited about. Next, we have the all-new checkmark indicator. Prior to Vancouver, developers were not told which source fields were mapped, so you had to scroll down the list, kind of view and figure out, if that field was mapped to a target field and whatnot. Well, in Vancouver, on the source field, a checkmark indicator is added that clearly shows that the source field is mapped to some target field. And lastly, developers can now choose a sheet name from a drop-down menu that displays on the files contained within the uploaded Excel file that you upload. You now get the opportunity to just select all the sheet names or the sheet name that you're looking to import data from within a drop-down menu. And before, you had to go in and you had to type the sheet number. Sometimes you'd not get it right, and then all the data comes in and you got to worry about going in and changing it, going back and finding the correct sheet name and remapping and doing all that stuff. So this really is going to improve, the speed at which you can import from Excel.
So one question about the Integration Hub import, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you use it to map imports for Excel sheets or CSV, you don't need the Integration Hub licensing, right? You need that if you want to do data stream actions import, I believe.
Yeah, it's hard for me to remember all of our licensing around this. I could find out and come back to you on that, Lisa.
Yes.
And reach out to that person and let them know for sure.
Joe, we also had another question in the Q&A, specifically about do any of these features need pro license or additional module purchases? I answered in the context of App Engine, but I wanted to pass it to you about Automation Engine.
Yeah, so any of the features discussed today are going to be available on our legal schedules at servicenow.com for Integration Hub and Automation Engine. I can send out a link to that after I get done sharing, and it'll show everything that's available within each tier of our SKUs.
Okay, cool. Thanks, dude.
No problem. Next up, and new to Automation Engine, we have process mining for external data. Process mining on the Now platform creates business process flows from the data and audit trails for quick, in-depth analysis of business processes. Armed with complete visibility into process flows and leveraging Integration Hub spokes to access external systems, you gain the ability to instantly monitor and analyze performance, find conformance issues, and continually optimize and improve. And process mining for external data currently supports the following capabilities: on-click process mining, summary and insight dashboards, AI-powered root cause analysis, automation discovery, direct connection with performance analytics, automation center, and continual improvement, and automation inefficiency detectors. And one of the products that I support that we just launched in Utah, Stream Connect for Apache Kafka. So we're going to look at what's new with one of our latest products and one of my favorite products in Automation Engine. With the new Stream Connect enhancements, you can now manage Kafka topics directly in the ServiceNow UI. So what used to you had to do is you'd have to use a command line tools to create and delete topics from the ServiceNow instance. Now in Vancouver, you get to do that within ServiceNow. And as you can imagine, you're going to consume a lot of data from different sources with Kafka. So some streams of data will obviously have a higher priority. So we've added a relative weight field to help you with your prioritization and tuning of the data import. One great thing about Stream Connect that you don't get with a lot of RESTful integrations is, as far as bringing that data in from Kafka, is you maintain the order of the data and the priority of that data as it comes in and goes out of the platform. And that's huge, when you're talking about real-time events and data streaming. Now, let's switch over to RPA Hub. A lot of organizations are facing a challenge of standardizing their bot development practices across all of their different projects. We're seeing a lot of inconsistent code quality and increased maintenance efforts to improve that code quality. And without a preset structure of rules, developers may overlook a lot of these crucial elements of code quality when they're building these bots. And this leads to a lot of inefficiencies and error-prone code. So we've added code quality check, and RPA admins can now create predefined rules with configurable severity levels, standardizing the bot development practice within their organization and helping to enforce this consistency across the building of all of their bots. And developers, when they're using the desktop studio, can view and follow active rules, proactively check code quality, and receive feedback upon the package publishing. The package's code quality status and ability to be published is based on the highest severity rule status and system properties set by the RPA admin. And this ensures that adherence to established best practices for building those bots.
That sounds really useful. Is it so that could be used similarly like instance scan, where you can make sure your ServiceNow side code follows best practices?
Yeah, that's the way I understand it. Yep.
Awesome.
I was going to ask Joe, with those predefined rules, can you have specific rule sets for different groups of people, or is the feature set right now just a kind of a predefined set for everybody?
That's a good question. And I can reach out to our RPA team and find that out for you. Unfortunately, I am not the RPA expert, even though I wish I was. But yeah, I can definitely find that out for you.
That's cool. I think it's a feature set that we see elsewhere as well. So I'm sure if it's not there now, it will be in the future. But
yeah, and we could definitely put it on the roadmap.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
No problem. Next up for RPA Hub, we have our robot pool. You can create unique pools of predefined robots, dynamic workload distribution, and streamlined bot management, which therefore maximizes robot utilization and operational efficiency. So you get to leverage the robot calendar to create and modify the box schedules, automate workload assignment by grouping these robot devices, and specify allocation type between your SLAs and percentage reduction for load balancing of the robots. And also new with Robot Calendar, you get to create new schedules by double or right-clicking on an empty slot in the calendar, enhancing user interaction and schedule management. So track the state of a maintenance request directly on the calendar with clear mapping between change requests and maintenance requests more efficiently. And then lastly, create and modify schedules for pooled robots directly from the Robot Calendar. This improvement not only aids in effective capacity planning, but also helps optimize robot utilization and avoiding those potential issues that come along with overutilizing a robot. Next up from RPA Hub, we're going to move over to document intelligence. In Vancouver, for document intelligence, you can now access a more tailored experience with additional flexibility to classify incoming documents, manage use cases, and configure agent validation conditions. So what we're doing is using AI to efficiently classify these incoming documents and route them to the appropriate processing workflow. To give you an example on how it will help, you may get an email from your customer with an attached document, which could be a form, an invoice, identity document, or something else. Right now, agents need to look into it and route it to the right workflow. With document classification, we're trying to remove this manual step and make it an end-to-end automation, which reduces that time in the process, the entire process, and greatly reduces how much interaction that agent has with the process. And last up for Automation Engine in Vancouver for Automation Center, we've addressed the challenge of limited context for recommended actions in automation requests. Now you will see an all new improved recommended actions capability for Automation Center of Excellences. centers and platform owners that provides better visibility into the recommendations that are coming through on those requests. And that is all from our automation engine. I know it was quite a bit. We've had a lot of improvements and capabilities. We've got way more planned for our future releases. A lot of exciting stuff happening on the platform.
Well, it looks like I'll be taking over the share here. Awesome here. Going to talk about App Engine today. So thanks very much for that, Joe. It's awesome to hear about all the different automation areas. So I just want to give an overview of what is App Engine. So App Engine isn't specifically one part or tool of ServiceNow, of our low-code, our no-code platform. It encompasses the entire set of capabilities that allow low and pro code development of custom workflows, as well as ways in which you can engage and interact with those workflows. So you have pieces such as mobile app builder, playbook experience, flow designer, ERP customization mining, virtual agent, predictive intelligence, App Engine Management Center, App Engine Studio. These are all different constituent elements of what the App Engine is as a whole. It's a set of capabilities that allow you to create custom applications. So for our Vancouver release, we have a couple of different functional areas that I'll talk about, specifically around App Engine and our App Engine Studio, including Table Builder and our Workspace, as well as our ERP customization mining. For App Engine Studio, some of the changes that we've had, we have improved notification builders for easy access to email variables. We've added sorting to data experiences, automation and security tabs. So now you can actually kind of sort through and find the relevant data for you when you're looking through your applications. Another piece that we've added to App Engine Studio. So in order for us to be able to deliver on a more flexible schedule, Pad has been added and moved into a store app. It's now accessible from the Logic tab within App Engine Studio. So that means that the processes within a specific app scope will be shown and created within the context of App Engine Studio. For Workspace Builder, we now have unique URLs for Workspace Builder dashboards. We have improvements in the modal for data visualizations. For our Workspace Builder, we now, at any point, intake point within Workspace Builder, we have hero tables. So those hero tables are going to be relevant in-app tables that you might want to have access to, something that might be more contextually relevant. Admins will have the ability to also add particular tables, so those can be modified to add anything that might be specific to you or your organization. Also for Table Builder, we have reference fields. They now display in app preferred tables by default. So this is similar to that kind of hero table functionality. We have the ability to add placeholder text as well within Table Builder. We have smart defaults. So when you are creating a field, it will automatically default to something that's contextually relevant to that kind of field. The theming is now going to be more consistent with the rest of the platform, more consistent coloring, so that it is very much more resonant with the rest of the platform as well. Also, when adding permissions, new roles will display at top. We have prescriptive directions. So if you add a new field, we'll have directions such as enter a column name. So these are all great enhancements to Table Builder. Also within Schema View, one of the complaints that we had previously with Schema View is that it would kind of take a little bit to load the experience. So it now loads significantly faster. We have a new API that's been created that allows that streamlined loading. It reduces multiple API calls down to a single API call that improves that performance of Schema Builder loading and functionality. For App Engine Management Center, this is a really good one. App Engine admins can now include any ATF or instance scan suite that you previously created on a testing instance into your production instance. So that allows any custom created suite to be run during app deployments, just how typically out-of-the-box suites are currently run. Scan suites can be flagged to provide warning or error when you're executing them. And depending on the severity of an error, that can terminate the deployment process. So that's another great add to App Engine Management Center to give you kind of confidence in your deployment processes. Also, another big one that's been asked for a while, we can now schedule app deployments. So if you have a window that's going to be external to your regular work week, you can auto deploy that application outside of working hours. You can choose the schedule and deploy your app on approval, and then you can have it within production within 15 minutes. So no more having to wait until 2 a.m. You can schedule this and have your app pushed over after having the ATF test suites run against it, and have the confidence that it's going to be up and running by the time your staff gets to work in the morning. This is another great one that really excited to start talking about. So our ERP customization mining is essentially a scanner that can look at custom code inside of an ERP system and help create prioritized targets of apps that can be removed from that ERP system and rebuilt inside ServiceNow. ERP systems traditionally require a lot of heavy custom code and integrations within that ERP system. Those are very difficult to build, time intensive, and also maintain. So a lot of the time, ERP cores are littered with a lot of custom code that's very expensive to maintain and continue to build on. Creates a lot of technical debt, a lot of costs, a lot of time delays. And so trying to really pull out relevant information from an ERP system is traditionally very difficult. So our ERP customization mining scans a customer's ERP system for custom code, and it helps to list and prioritize candidates for pulling that customization out of your ERP system into ServiceNow. So it helps to understand how what are the interactions of that custom code within your ERP system, and what kind of data it relies on, flags it, and gives you indication that, hey, this is a potential candidate for us to pull out from your ERP system, give you a clean core, and then we can create those custom workflows with inside ServiceNow. Definitely really exciting for us. This is going to be a big feature moving forward. The second part of ERP customization mining is our ERP canvas. And the ERP canvas makes those ERP data tables available to use inside of any ServiceNow application or custom workflow. So this will automatically create remote tables that allow you to query data from your ERP system. It allows you to join multiple tables required for a specific customization candidate that was identified using our ERP customization mining into what we call an ERP data model. You can then map fields to a human readable name, something that's going to be relevant to you. Rather than having an esoteric ERP field, you can map it to something that's going to be more contextually relevant to you, so that your non-ERP users can understand that within the context of, say, a custom workflow that you're developing. And then you can take those that ERP data model that you've created and build it into a custom workflow, which you can report on, which you can really start getting relevant data out of your ERP system within minutes rather than months, as with a traditional ERP system. So in Vancouver, the ERP Canvas app can't write data to an ERP system. It only reads it. So any updates to records in an ERP system would need to use an integration spoke. So some of those integration spokes that Joe talked about, or created custom integration spokes, would need to be leveraged if you wanted to modify any ERP data. So with that, what I will say, a lot of the changes that are coming to App Engine are very much behind the scenes currently happening. There's a lot of exciting stuff that's coming both in Washington and Xanadu, specifically around having new experiences and new interactions for developers of all different skill sets. So there's a lot of stuff coming. Really look forward to revisiting a lot of this with you all in hopefully another session with Lisa on Platform Academy in the next year. So thanks so much for that. I am going to stop my share.
So with that, I will start another poll because we want to know, what was your favorite feature today? So while you're clicking through this, we are getting some more questions that are coming in. Maybe we can get some answers to this. What kind of access is needed to be granted on the ERP ends to mine or canvas that? Do you know, Kiernan?
I will have to pull that out there. We do have a couple of sessions that are upcoming for some of our ERP customization mining. So I'll make sure to get that link to you, Lisa, so that we can share it out to folks.
That is a good idea.
But yeah, we have a lot of different sessions upcoming about that, because it's big. It's a massive impact on a lot of organizations being able to pull customizations out and create custom workflows and visualizations of data inside the context of your ServiceNow instance. So
yeah, I remember. I don't know what it is, how it is for everybody else, but I remember back in the day, everybody and every company had their own custom local installation with whatever custom applications on their ERP systems. Those are quite crazy. And then with the move to cloud, not all of them have been migrated or should be in that system. So I think it's always a good idea to distinguish between systems of record and systems of workflow, like the platform is.
Exactly. And one thing that I'll also mention is, if you do look at a lot of ERP systems, their desire is to have a clean core. And so pulling out a lot of those customizations into a platform such as ServiceNow, which is ultimately extensible, allows you to really align with the business need of getting your core clean and putting that in somewhere, system of record like ServiceNow, that allows you to really leverage that data in a way that's really meaningful for your organization.
And then there was one question about the data visualizations, whether they do refresh data for themselves or not. I believe they do not. However, I will recommend the Academy series of my dear colleague Thomas, who has a whole academy about analytics and also goes through these wonderful things like the dashboards and new workspace builder dashboards, visualizations. So be sure to check out that academy. I will put the link in the Q&A and also in chat so that everybody can see that. We have already seen some of the links, but I will resurface them right now, which is an amazing segue. There are more academies. Please sign up for them if you're in any part interested in next experience in mobile apps, in an analytics or AI or conversation interface that includes virtual agent. They all have sessions for what's new in Vancouver. Some of them have already run, so you can find those recordings on YouTube, and some are still scheduled, and I will heavily recommend you check them out.
And Lisa, I would say for everybody, keep an eye in the coming year, fiscal year, for potentially new academies. Here at Creator, we're looking at getting one off the ground. So definitely keep an eye open for that as well.
Well, that's good news. We'll make sure to link to those when you start. We have some poll answers, and it looks like a pretty even field, except for Workspace Builder, who's a front runner together with Integration Hub Import. So it's awesome to see that all of the enhancements and products are of some interest to someone, which is always good to get a good spread over there. And then I don't think I have many more topics. I am very, very glad we did this session. It's always a good opportunity to have you both as guest speakers on this academy. So for upcoming platform academies, the next platform academy will be on October 12th. And we will be looking at the upgraded system clone interface, which will be a brand new interface presented by some of my PM colleagues. And then I'll also have Ashley Snyder with us again, who will speak a little bit about the admin console updates in Vancouver. And then the next session will probably be canceled because I will be traveling end of October, but we will have more sessions in November about securing workflow automation products. That will be early November. And then we'll skip one session, 1 week, for the US folks who celebrate their Thanksgiving, I believe, in end of November. But then to make up for that, we will do 2 sessions in 2 weeks, in 2 consecutive weeks. And I will be joined by Jason Lefevre to speak about Process Automation Designer and playbooks. We've already touched upon some of the improvements that we added in Vancouver, but we really wanted to do a deeper dive and tell you about all the goodness that was added in the past 2 or 3 releases, because it's been over 2 years since we did pad and playbook sessions. There's another question just came in. Similarly to the other ERP systems staying pure to their core, we want the ServiceNow instances to also stay pure. That is a very good idea. Are there success guidelines for that, for those migration opportunities? So maybe there's a Now Create or something, or a podcast or something that you know of?
Yeah, and as I said, we have a couple of sessions that are upcoming about the ins and outs. My coworker Kant Basavaraju will be leading those, so I'll make sure that we get the links out there so that you're able to kind of join those. A lot of really good prescriptive guidance on how to start executing on that ERP. So I'll make sure to get that link to Lisa, and so that you get access to it as well.
Perfect. And with that, we have covered everything we needed to cover today. Thank you, Joe and Kiernan, for joining me today. Thank you to everybody who joined us for this academy. It was lovely to host you again, and I will see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks for joining, everybody.